So Molweni, today is the 15th of November 2025. On the 12th, Babu Zungu came to court and as the man. And so he basically just relayed how he got to be involved in this thing in a way through his son, who was always who all of a sudden started visiting him, and he would bring up the subject of Senzo Meiwa, and then he started inquiring about particularly two boys, Undanzi. Their boys get to Babzungu. Undanzi no Sibia. Ochiku Undanzi is his cousin's child, and Usibia is a neighbor. But I think, I'm not sure if I'm recalling the evidence correctly, but I think Yena Uzungu, the son, he was claiming that a relative yakhe nguSibiya. I will double check that, but I have that in mind nje. That's how confused he is. So he says, after just pitching these names to him and also asking him to find a girlfriend accused number 5, all of a sudden he said, usebenza no Gininda, who's the lead investigator in this matter, and yena uthe usebenza ku-intelligence, ngabantu be-intelligence. Wathi ke uGinenda ucela amncede kule case and azitshintshe igama, angazibizi uZungu, azibize uKhumalo. And then soon afterwards, Gininda calls this old man and ambiza ngezithakazelo zoKhumalo. And this man athi, no, I'm not that, ndinguzungu mna. And then he wasn't pleased because he could see that he's not playing ball. And then after a while, it's just that the timelines are not really specified. I don't know which year is it, but it said the year that his son made the initial contact could be between 2017 and 18. And then I don't know the year when Gininda eventually comes to this man's house with to Babzungu's house with his son Sikhumbuzo Zungu and with 3 other people. No, so anyway, they picked some other people along the way, but the bottom line is that Gininda was in the car and Sikhumbuzo. And at the end, they took him. He said they took him, and he didn't even close his doors properly. He left the house unlocked because he didn't know he was going to go somewhere. And they just took him. And he said when he noticed that they have driven past Ermelo, that time he was working in Ermelo, he asked where they're going, and they say, I was losing logo. We don't answer to you. And they took him to an unknown place, unknown to him at least, and he said no, they were just roughing him up. At some point they put him at the back of the police car, leaving his son inside the car. They put him with the other men, and Uti, they didn't hit him surprisingly, but they were just rough towards him. The experience was inhumane. And Uti, when they got to a particular house which is in the middle of nowhere, they were talking and Gininda was writing, but he didn't say anything. And then they wanted him to sign, and he refused. Plain out, he refused signing, and they took him back. But instead of dropping him at his house where they got him, they dropped him just along the way. He says he had to find his way home. And then he said when he was back in KZN, his son called him. He says it disappeared for all these years now. After some years in 2023, his son calls him saying Gininda wants to speak to you, and they want to meet up. And he said they wanted to meet at a particular farm near Newcastle, where one farm, it's just sort of a secluded place. It's a farm area where one farm is here, the other one is over there. So he said after that inhuman experience, there was no way I was going to risk it. I said, no, let's meet at Newcastle police station. And so off he went to meet them. They were three this time around. It was Gininda, his son, and a white woman. And Oti a police station, but what he's apologizing for how they treated him the other time, and he's asking him to come testify for him. His reward, Uzomtata, he will give him protection. He will take him to a country, one of the countries. He mentioned it could have been Swaziland and other neighboring countries. So it's gonna take him to some other country and provide protection at Babzungu. And then what if things don't go well and I can't even get hold of you? I'm not risking my life for that. Thank you, I'm not doing that. And without him agreeing to participate. It was in 2023 after his son had given evidence. So it was also brought forth that the issue of the statement that he signed, because Batia Court, they brought a statement, but it's from him. And and I know he never signed, so they showed that signature. At first, the defense said, what we were given here doesn't even have a signature. The signature is cut off. So they requested a proper copy from the state. So the copy was juxtaposed together with the ID copy of Mr. Zungu, where his signature appears. And he was made to identify his signature. He said, my signature is there in the copy, and the other signature is not mine, and I would like to know why is it attributed to me, whose signature is that. And he also made another statement in Newcastle this year when he did that online interview. He said he met up with TikTok people, and basically he just said exactly the same things he's saying now in court, because in his community people were asking him, your name is thrown around that court but you're not saying anything, please speak up. So they connected him with TikTok people, he says, and those people helped him to make the story public, and they took him to the police station just to affirm that nothing sinister happened to him. So he relayed what had happened in that meeting, and he signed. So that signature was also displayed, and he said, yes, this is my signature, and if you want more, you can contact SASSA offices, you can contact Home Affairs, you can contact FNB, my bank. You will see my signature has been consistent, not this one, not the state actually saying they will argue otherwise. Will they dispute the man's signature? And even the judge on this one was like telling them in a way that concede, because he spoke on their behalf that they had conceded, because it was just sounding so stupid. Another stupid part is that now they're saying they didn't use this man's evidence deliberately because it's triple hearsay. All of a sudden, the Baloyi, who's been defending triple hearsay until the 11th hour, until last week, first week of November, saying it is evidence, because he was justifying using this very statement, the central part of Gininda's evidence, this statement, the so-called statement.